going to go to South Africa perhaps in the future, so they say a month or so. So of course they say, well, only weekends. During the week you do what you like. So anyway, I'm very appreciative that you're all here this evening. We have just this evening here, this is my fourth day at 4 different temples, and Haridas and his wife traveled with me as well, but I started out 4 days ago, I guess, in Amsterdam, after traveling from the east coast of the USA. So I arrived there just in time to give the feast class on Sunday, and then we left the next morning, and we were in, where were we the second?
Den Haag?
Rotterdam? Rotterdam,
Oh,
yeah. So the next day we were in Rotterdam, and we left the next morning and arrived in Haarlem, which is also in the Netherlands, and it was very, very pretty place there, and we had a program there. So that was last night, and we made it here today. And then tomorrow we drive to Radhadesh, right? Tomorrow, right, Radhadesh. And then the next day I fly to Copenhagen. So this was a schedule that was arranged for me. So 7 days, 7 temples, which I'm very happy to be able to do it. And again, thank you all for tolerating me. And a few crumbs. I'll try to do a few crumbs. Traveling with Prabhupada, it was, as he said, I joined, I guess I moved into a temple in April of 1971. And I was from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which was a pretty big city, 5 million people or so. But I immediately went to Pittsburgh and New Vrindavan. It was New Vrindavan where I began my training in Krishna consciousness. And then joined Prabhupada in 1972. It was pretty much exactly 16 months later that I became his servant. And I wanted to show, actually, I did bring my phone for a reason, because I wanted to show you just what Prabhupada, how wonderful he was. So I have this picture that, again, it was just a few months ago that I was able to understand this picture was very special to me. And the reason it's special to me, I'll tell you in a minute here. You can just pass this around because no one will be able to see it. But it's special because it's my very first day, full day with Srila Prabhupada as his servant. And it's the first photograph that I can recognize as being taken. And my first photo with Srila Prabhupada, my selfie. That was my first selfie with Prabhupada. So this is approximately September, I could find out which day, I'm not sure, early September 1972. And if you look at the picture, it looks very interesting. What's going on in this photograph here, those of you who have seen? What's happening? It's a chadar, just like this chadar, the exact same kind of chadar. So we both have our hands on the chadar. Now this is the first time I've gone out with Prabhupada on a morning walk. And Prabhupada always, morning walk meant sun's coming up. He's already walking. He would get up, clean, brush his teeth, put on fresh tilak, say Gayatri mantra, and then he was ready for the morning walk. You had to be ready. You learn so many things just being with Prabhupada for a few hours. Like it says a moment. I've been saying this every night now. It's described, that moment, right, with the pure devotee. That's all that's required, a moment's association. But the moment in Sanskrit means 1/12 of a second. So literally, blink your eye, that's it. That's a moment's association. What can we gather? Obviously, it means just to be with a pure devotee. It's purifying. But just watching him without speaking, there was so much. You could become, I say this, you could become Krishna conscious just watching Prabhupada, just how he did everything. Because everything was done with attention. And this is what this is the understanding I see in it. Everything was with attention, with consciousness. I like to say first you become conscious, then you become Krishna conscious. I know I experienced that as a youth. What kind of consciousness do as Prabhupada said, you Westerners, he said to me in his room in Los Angeles. Is the picture still there okay? You Westerners, he said, you've taken so much intoxication, so much illicit sex. He said you couldn't do anything except for the chanting, this Hare Krishna mantra. See, this is what we need, that kind of faith. When Prabhupada said it, he didn't just say things. He understood it, he meant it, he knew it. That our only qualification was due to chanting of Hare Krishna. But see, when he said that, I always thought that was an understatement, because I considered it was only because of his chanting of Hare Krishna and his desire that we were capable of doing anything. You know, it was his chanting, his purity, his faith. He had complete faith in the chanting. It's what he brought with him when he came to America. He said himself, it's $7. He said, I had a very successful business. And that's what he wanted. Many of us have gone through that phase as devotees in our life. Krishna, why don't you give me the money? All the temples, right? Every city will have a nice temple. We'll build Mayapur. We all have these three. Well, Prabhupada also, he was thinking, I'll make a lot of money and then I can do everything. But Krishna's plans very often very different than ours. And he said, took everything away. He said, even his wife, his family. He said to us, you can see it in his writings, he said it to us personally once or twice. He said it was horrible, the idea of leaving his family life. He said he was in so much anxiety, and he said several times, my Guru Maharaj, he gave him indications, he appeared, he said, but he wasn't looking forward, jumping into it. He said it was very difficult. So this photograph, I don't know who took it, probably Vishaka, Yadabar's wife Vishaka probably. But is what it is. I was on this morning walk, my first morning walk. Already I'm overwhelmed. I'm holding the microphone. I'm in charge of recording Prabhupada's lectures. It's the only thing Shyama Sundar said to me. He was Prabhupada's secretary. I became his servant. I was 21. Now, Shyama Sundar, he was already 30. He had been a devotee since 1967. In those days, if you were a devotee 6 months longer than someone else, you considered them very senior. You offered your obeisances to these people. If they had Brahmin initiation, I mean, I would swear that I would watch devotees chanting Gayatri in New Vrindavan and they would come off the ground. They didn't, but that's what I knew that they could because they were Brahmins. It's a wonderful thing. So on this walk, the sun rose, Prabhupada felt a little warm, and he had his chadar wrapped around, and he handed it to me. And I grabbed it, and I guess I just didn't even know what to do with it. It was just a sheet of cloth. I just needed to fold it, obviously. But I was bewildered. So that picture is him grabbing it from me to show me what to do. Imagine, he had to stop in his walk to show a grown man how to fold a piece of cloth. When I see that photo, I realize I didn't know how to do anything. It was a miracle that I was accomplishing anything. I couldn't even fold a piece of cloth. He stopped and he said like this. And he just grabbed it by the ends and kept folding it in half. Simple thing. Now I was his, let me see, Prabhupada had servants from 1966 And I don't know how long, but we know there was Govinda Dasi, her husband Gaur Sundar. Of course, before that, even in the very beginning, was Kirtanananda, Aravinda, Purushottam, Sudama, Nanda Kumar, and then me from 1966. So now it's 1972. 6 years later, I'm at least his 8th servant. There are also intermittent ones, Sudama Maharaj. So I'm number 8. He's on his first walk. He has to show me how to fold the chadar. But look at his expression. There was no anger. He had patience. Then number 8, he had to start all over again. He's spreading Krishna